There's Bitcoin on the daily. It is down. It's down around 30% in like the last week or so. Around 30%. Crypto looking absolutely terrible right now. There is a ton of fear in the markets. I want to say to you as I start this video, it's going to be okay. It's all good. I'm going to break down the technicals in this video, and we'll look at the zoomed in, the shorter term price action, but we're also going to zoom out a little bit to get some perspective, some context to this situation with Bitcoin. So hit the subscribe, hit the like. Let's jump into the video. I want to start with this post. This is Mike Alfred on X. Real quick, this is a growth scare and a technical correction, not a major crash. Everything is setting up nicely for the next rip. A story as old as time. It's Mike Alfred over there on X. Just such a good post. It's very short. It's to the point. And I agree. This is a technical correction. And I posted yesterday. I think I covered this. I don't buy into the notion that this crypto bull run has been canceled. So this is where my head's at. And I agree with what Mike is saying here. And then we can start getting, though, some information and some data. It has been, I've been doing these videos for almost 7 years. It has been the technical analysis, the charting that has helped me just stay level-headed, composed through moments like this over the years. It's very easy to fall into emotion. And that goes for the upside too. It's very easy to fall into a positive emotion when we're cruising to the upside, right? Right here is very easy to fall into a negative emotion. And we can't think clearly in either environment. I want to start with a clip. This was from 10 days ago, really briefly. Just check this out. Was the bounce? It would make so much sense to come revisit that Fibonacci in the way that it did and then continue to the bull market. But we're not that far above the Fibonacci, and the 20-week moving average is still kind of iffy whether we're going to get that support that we need even this week. If Bitcoin falls back into the Fibonacci, I'd be looking at the entire Fibonacci range, right? And we have that lower end range around $48,000 or so. So we're talking a lot about the Fibonacci, that bull market door area in green that you see right there. And we were just talking about the 20-week moving average. So let's look at this. Let me remove this rectangle. The first thing I want to do is start on the weekly, and then we're going to zoom into the daily. And by the way, if you don't even hold Bitcoin, you hold altcoins, this is the roadmap to this cycle. This is incredibly important, even if you don't hold Bitcoin. Let's place this Fibonacci on the screen. The last bull market high to the bear market low. It's that green rectangle. And check this out. So I was saying in the video, it would make sense if this was it, the bounce off the Fibonacci, and then we're cruising to the upside. But that wasn't it, right? But look at us once again. We're back in the Fibonacci, and this is kind of what we were talking about in that video. But the other thing was that I wanted to mention is this 20-week moving average did not hold. There is a massive war, a tug of war happening between the bulls and the bears right now. And it's like something we've never seen throughout these cycles. But the other thing I do want to mention to you is this Fibonacci, these bull market door area, right, that we see throughout these cycles. And I've been tracking this area. Here it is last cycle, right? Bitcoin breaking those bull market doors. Can I just send out this massive reminder to everybody that if I extend the bull market doors and the power move of Bitcoin out of this bear market was so fast compared to previous cycles. It broke the bull market doors before the Bitcoin halving and saw all-time highs before the Bitcoin halving, something that's never happened before. We can't sit here so spoiled that we can't even handle consolidation now. After all of that just craziness that we've never seen in any cycle, now we're getting consolidation. For me, it's kind of like, just deal with it. It is what it is. We need the consolidation if we want to have an insane, powerful bull cycle. And that goes for the rest of crypto, for altcoins as well. So that's Bitcoin. It's revisiting the Fibonacci retracement, the macro bull market doors. And that's what it looks like. You can go to the cycle 2 cycles ago. We've talked about this on the channel before. You can see it kind of exited and fell back in. It exited the bull market doors, and then it revisited the bull market doors before continuation. And I'm not trying to throw hopium out there, but I am trying to just bring things into perspective, even more so because on the macro, it's very easy to bring things into perspective and say, you know what? Even with what I just said, it makes sense. To me, it makes sense. Everything has been happening earlier this cycle. Consolidation, downside, some pain, cooling off. let the momentum oscillators cool off, let the RSI cool back down. Hasn't even been in overbought territory really post Bitcoin halving. And these are things that we see in bull cycles after the Bitcoin halving. Hasn't even been there yet. Let's chill. That's my thought. But beside that, when I look at the daily chart, then I'm kind of like, wow, even on the short term, there's not even anything crazy happening. And I think I talked about this in yesterday's video. Everybody's fine when we're visiting upper trend lines, right? These moves to the upside. Look at these moves to the upside. Here's one, the swing low at the lower trend line. That was scary. May 1st to the upper trend line. Here we go. May 21st or so, 20 some percent. Nobody complains about that. The revisits to the upside. And then we had another one not long ago, beginning of July to the end of July, 30%. Nobody was complaining about this move to the upper trend line. But every time we get these moves to lower trend lines, it's like game over. It's done. Crypto's done. Pack it up. But my thing is, this is a daily chart. This is a setup, a pattern setup. And this is all that this means. Number one, we can revisit upper trend lines and lower trend lines. It's normal. Number two, this goes even further and more extreme, but it's just reality. We can visit breakout targets to the upside, but we can visit breakout targets to the downside. And it's just the name of the game. It is what it is. Breakout target, this could be a capitulation type of event that we should just prepare for. You know, we're prepared for lower trend line touches. We're prepared for consolidations, for moving averages, all these moving averages on a daily to fall. What if it continues? What if this crash continues? I want to point out, just to get some perspective, stock RSI, quicker moving momentum oscillator, oversold, quite oversold. I mean, if you zoom out, it's like historically at that oversold territory on the stock RSI. It's a quicker moving momentum oscillator. And you can even see when we were last this oversold, right around here, you can actually see Bitcoin actually did go a little further, right? It had to put in a higher low on the stock RSI, but it actually went down a little further. We might break to the downside, pull back in. Maybe we hit a target to the downside. But either way, we're oversold on the stock RSI. We're oversold on the slower moving momentum oscillator, the RSI. Things have cooled down so much. And historically, when we start getting into this environment of oversold on the RSI, we get some type of bounce to test key areas that we need to test, right? Look, we weren't even oversold here. Bitcoin bounced to the upside. We were way oversold here. We're kind of getting into that territory here. This was back in August 2023. What did Bitcoin do? It was quite some time of consolidation to the downside. It reached this moment, and then it was preparing for the next move to the upside. So right now, from a technical analysis perspective on the daily, this is just a normal setup. It's quite a large setup, that is for sure, but it's a normal setup. So if we look at this, target to the downside is around $41,000, right? So that's another $12,000 for Bitcoin. Crypto markets, I think in this environment, considering they're already basically oversold, crypto markets will be capitulating. It will be such a high fear thing. It will be so surprising not to see an incredibly powerful bounce out of something like that. But we're not even there yet. We like to think that the lower trend line will hold, right? And look at this wick so far; it looks good. But you know, I've been watching these charts for long enough to know it looks good now. It's a nice wick that could be a support. I mean, back here it kind of played out, right? And then we moved to the upside. But I've been doing this long enough to know it's not a guarantee that we're just going to start cruising back to the upside and start testing the upper trend line by end of August or sometime in September. It's 100% in play. We want to see that, right? But we have to prepare for all scenarios. And right now, I think it's kind of stepping stones to even get to that moment. And for me, the stepping stones are always moving average based. So we have this area right here is a 200-day moving average around 61,500, and we can get there quick. You'd be very surprised how quick Bitcoin could just all of a sudden tomorrow just put in the next green candle is just a big green candle. And all of a sudden we're at like 59, right? And then all of a sudden we're below the moving averages again. That could happen quick, but these are the first areas I'm watching for. Bitcoin has to get back to at least test these areas. And that is around 61,000. The 50-day moving average is around 62,500. The 20-day moving average around 64,600. And so you can see, if you zoom out, I just want to do this real quick on the daily. If you zoom out, we have all this early movement of Bitcoin breaking records, doing things it's never done, breaking the bull market doors, breaking all-time high, all before Bitcoin halving. If you zoom out, a consolidation moment like this, a season like this for Bitcoin, if we want a powerful bull market, right? I know we all want a bull market that's just like this. Look, I know we want $150,000 by September, higher highs, higher lows, no crazy consolidation moments. But if we want a powerful bull cycle, and there could be still so much left of this bull cycle, we're 105 days in. I mean, around 100 some days in, right? Last cycle, it was 560 days after the Bitcoin halving where Bitcoin topped out. This cycle has time. And I think for me, I have to take into account all of the zoomed out charts, of course, the zoomed out data, on-chain metrics data, the demand data. BlackRock's in the game right now. You think they want Bitcoin to start crashing and falling? Or do you think they're going to do whatever they can do even to market Bitcoin? This is just getting started. Users just coming on board. Fidelity is in the game. There's so many in the game. Crypto's winning in the legal landscape, in Congress, gaining so much momentum. You think this is it? I just don't. I say all the time I could be wrong. I just don't think it's it. And then when I look at the charts, I'm just like, okay, it's a normal setup. It is what it is. It's not fun. I realize it's not fun. I mean, from this all-time high to where we are right now, Bitcoin wicked 33% to the downside. Is it over? I don't think so. These are just my thoughts, some technical analysis on Bitcoin today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.